Good morning, everyone. Clint McLaughlin here, Midwest Market Management. It is Tuesday, October 28th. We're harvesting corn, soybeans here across the U.S. and in the Southern Hemisphere. They're slamming crops in the ground. So plenty to talk about down there. Riley, what do we have in store for us here today for South America weather?
Well, South America is kind of taking the back burner right now, with all eyes going right now on potential trade deals, and it's got a bean market pretty stirred up, and the corn market's coming with it. But that doesn't mean South America weather stopped, Clint. So we're still taking a look at it because once this news settles, everybody always comes back to the weather.
And they're probably going to find some pretty favorable conditions, which potentially could have the trade a little bit off balance here after a significant bean rally, forgetting all about South America weather.
Yep. So starting out here, plant in progress. I'm going to keep this one pretty short and sweet. Argentina's ahead on the corn. Not really any regions other than the stuff that had really heavy rains about a month ago. They are getting dry enough now, so everybody's rolling. And then Brazil, corn and beans. Corn is 1% behind the 5-year average, and beans are 3% ahead. So I can't really add a whole lot.
Yeah.
Everything's pretty much going as expected right now. So I'm just going to flip into, as we're looking at the Brazil regions, areas to watch. First crop corn, we're looking heavy to the south. And for first crop beans, we're looking a lot heavier here to the north in that Mato Grosso, Goiás, up to the Tocantins. That's where we're looking really hard on the bean side right now. So putting in perspective, huge area I just talked about in about 10 seconds, Clint. You take Mato Grosso and put it on a U.S. map, that's almost the whole Midwest. So we're talking about a crop growing area that's about the size of the entire United States when you put all the regions together. So a lot of area here, not something to quickly gloss over, but that's kind of what we try to do twice a week here to keep it simple for you guys. So looking ahead, 1 to 5 day temperatures. Some areas to the north with a little bit of heat averaging in the hundreds, but you and I have talked about it. That's not really anything new down there. That's not something that's going to cause a big market reaction. And especially when you look to the south, temperatures in the 60s and 70s. Not anything concerning on the temperature side. And looking towards Argentina, it's more of the same as southern Brazil, 70s and 80s. No concern there. 6 to 10 day, the heat's actually coming out a little bit in the north, so even less of a concern. So far, this crop, and especially in Brazil, Clint, it's had about as good of a start as you can have. Temperatures haven't been the most mild, but the rain's been enough to keep them going, and there's not really anything to talk about with a bullish storyline right now. So 6 to 10 days showing more of the same. Little bit of heat in Argentina, but heck, highs in the 90s here in the States don't make a difference, let alone in South America. So
Sure.
nothing really bullish right now on the temperature side of things. And the rain's not helping it out bulls either if they look towards South America weather. Southern Brazil over the last 2 weeks has had plenty of rain. That's nothing new. What is new is there has been rain coming through center west Brazil, especially Mato Grosso and Goiás. There's been enough rains that there's not any drought concern, at least in the short term. Same thing for Argentina here. No lack of rain, almost the entire growing region. So as we're looking ahead over the next 5 days, still are some small shots of rain in the forecast, and that's about all you can ask for this time of year for Brazil, especially in that northern half of the country. The southern areas where a lot of corn's being grown, they're actually getting to a point they probably need the rain to shut off a little bit in terms of production. But as you and I both know, Clint, markets don't really respond to too wet. They respond to too dry.
Yes, and when they do respond to too wet, it's usually with a rally that fails because all of a sudden everybody realizes for every acre that's getting drowned out, 10 acres are getting good rain.
Exactly. So moving in 1 to 5 for Argentina, where they're ready to be missing some rains, and they look to be. So, I mean, I I'm continuing on here, Clint, but I mean, you set the dial to
Yeah.
ideal, and
Yeah,
that's what South America's got going right now from top to
you,
bottom.
you can feel the subscribers dropping off here with every slide. We've got pretty much ideal temperatures and good moisture, so some pretty solid soybean and corn growing situation. So again, guys, keep in mind it's a huge area. So a lot of these beans are getting planted. Some of them were planted quite some time ago. Northern Brazil, I do believe, will have beans in harvest as soon as like January, early February time period,
Yep.
which, I mean, boy, the calendar just flies by so quickly, guys. You got to realize how, I mean, you're gonna blink your eye and it'll be December, and then it won't be long, and we'll be talking about bean harvest down there. So, a lot to keep an eye on here, but as of right now, boy, we're really doing pretty solid.
Yep, and 6 to 10 days showing more of the same. Rain in the forecast for both, and when you put the forecast together, it actually looks a lot wetter than you'd think after looking at both of those 1 to 5s and 6 to 10s. But the reality is there's a lot of rain in the forecast, Clint, and temperatures aren't hot enough that there's a whole lot of stress going on right now either. So that's all I got today on the map side. There's a lot to look at there and a lot of stuff that's set for, like I said, the dials turn to ideal, and not a whole lot of storylines for bulls to run with. So I would say in terms of how we look at it from a national yield perspective, no change, still very high potential down there.
Sounds good, Riley. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to put the maps together, and thanks to Marcus Weather Group for providing the maps here and the great outlook for us. Stay tuned. We'll be back on here Thursday to let you know how we're moving into the weekend here, see if there's any changes. So again, Clint McLaughlin, Riley Sidecard, Midwest Market Management. Check us out on our website. Would love to talk to you soon. Have a great day.
This material has been prepared by a sales or trading employee or agent of Midwest Market Management and is in the nature of a solicitation. This material is not a research report prepared by of Midwest Market Management Research Department. By accepting this communication, you agree that you are an experienced user of the futures markets, capable of making independent trading decisions, and agree that you are not and will not rely solely on this communication in making trading decisions. Distribution in some jurisdictions may be prohibited or restricted by law. Persons in possession of this communication indirectly should inform themselves about and observe any such prohibition or restrictions. To the extent that you have received this communication indirectly and solicitations are prohibited in your jurisdiction without registration, the market commentary in this communication should not be considered a solicitation. The risk of loss in trading futures and/or options is substantial, and each investor and/or trader must consider whether this is a suitable investment. Past performance, whether actual or indicated by simulated historical tests of strategies, is not indicative of future results. Trading advice is based on information taken from trades and statistical services and other sources that of Midwest Market Management believes are reliable. We do not guarantee that such information is accurate or complete, and it should not be relied upon as such. Trading advice reflects our good faith judgment at a specific time and is subject to change without notice. There is no guarantee that the advice we give will result in profitable trades.